exercises to help you develop something that you'd like in your life. Could be love or could be something else. Using a very simple formula called love, L-O-V-E. You see, one of the things about getting what you want in life is believing that you are that thing right now. Okay? And that would pertain to believing that there's one force in the universe and it is love. When you really can get that, really can be that, then things flow to you. And the opposite of that, which is when we become humans, when we enter our bodies, when we incarnate, we we inherit this pesky little consciousness called fear. Okay, and fear is our ego edging God out. So we can either be working with love or working with fear, and fear gets in the way of abundance, gets in the way of manifesting. And sometimes magic can actually help you move from fear to love faster than any other tool around. In other words, when I have, anyway, in my own life, did a little spiritual ceremony, if you will, a little love magic, a curious thing happened. I never did it before, but by the time I was 38, floating around Manhattan, my life was kind of like Sex in the City, if you've ever seen an HBO show, and then they had a couple of movies, very famous show. My life was like that. I loved that TV show because my life when I was in my 30s and 20s was very similar. And here I was 38 years old, still looking for Mr. Right. And finally, I started to really feel lonely. I didn't feel it when I was younger. I guess I really wasn't ready. But when I got to be 38, I started to feel something's missing, a real ache inside of myself. And I was having a conversation with my older sister, telling her this when I was 38. And she says, well, somebody gave me a little candle magic. Let me mail it to you. I don't need it right now. She lived in a different state. I says, okay. I didn't really, know if it was going to work or not. I have been raised in a metaphysic household, but none of that had ever been done around me. So I was open-minded, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I got the innocent, innocent enough looking candle, the innocuous enough looking candle. It was pink. It was coated with oil and sparkles all over it. And I lit it. And I just said a little prayer for love. And I forgot all about it. I just went about my business. Well, there was one thing that I did do a little differently. Instead of me trying to find love, I just sort of let go. Hint, hint. Okay? I let go of any kind of trying anymore. I just relaxed. 12 days later, I ran into somebody, a man. We clicked, and he became my boyfriend for the next 8 years. Oh, that was weird. But, still not thinking anything of it. Anyway, we didn't go farther than that and ended going back into being a single person in New York again. And the same thing kept happening. Nothing would click for me. So when a Valentine's Day date showed up, no, it didn't show up. By 1 in the afternoon on Valentine's Day, I was waiting for a confirmation phone call. Never got it from this guy. When he never showed up, I just said, that's it. I'm going to go get me some magic, some love magic. It was on Valentine's Day in 1998, February 14th. So I did another little spiritual ceremony, and 12 days later, I met a man, and he became my husband. Whoa, that was really strange. Still not quite getting this. Thinking maybe it's still a coincidence. But what happened is that didn't work out again. I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. I mean, you could manifest love and it's still not going to work out. You can meet somebody, it's not going to work out. That's nothing to do with this. The point I'm making is that when I did a metaphysic ceremony, I attracted something that I desired. Okay. So that went on and on. So again, when that marriage ended, I was back. I was now down in Florida and things weren't clicking. So I did a little love magic. And that time I met my friggin' soulmate. Ah! That was intense. And now there's another little spin on this here. So what do you do with a person you meet that's a soulmate? Now, one of the things about soulmates, quite often those relationships are very intense and karmic in nature, and they stimulate us for growth. A lot of people are running around saying twin souls, twin souls, twin souls. Twin souls are interesting, but a soulmate is a different animal. Twin souls is one thing, soulmate is another thing. I think, from my own experience and what I've read and what Spirit has shown me, is that a soulmate is here for our growth. So anyway, we broke up because we were fighting constantly, and I went through about 7 years of I guess we'll call it, we're going to be very euphemistic here and say personal growth. And I changed. I'll call that soul abundance. I learned how to align with my own inner essence, my authentic self, which is, for you and for me, very empowering. If you want to be strong, if you want to feel confident, find out who you are. What's your magic? What is your magnificence, if you will? So I aligned with that, which means now it's much harder for me to be fearful, although I still am at times. You all are, and I'm much better able to handle being in a situation that might challenge my confidence, as my soulmate had done. Guess what? Soulmate came back. So anyway, that's my little story about love, and I'm going to go through some of this with you this evening in case you're working on bringing love into your life. But anything that you want, actually, these steps would apply. And so I'm going to generalize it a little bit as we go through. If it's not love that you want, if you're good in that area, perhaps it's money, perhaps it's health, perhaps it's grief. You're in a grieving situation, maybe you've lost a loved one. Perhaps some of these tools will be helpful to you. And I wrote an outline at the bottom of Spirit Medium TV, which I'm going to go to now. And I am going to ask that you, if you would like to participate, which I highly recommend, that you get a pad and pen out, wherever you are, so you could participate and get the goodies that are here for you. I'm also going to suggest, as I go through this, that you might want to email me to get a specific spiritual ceremony, love magic, that I did when I attracted my soulmate, the last one. By the way, that last one I made up myself. It's my own personal recipe. And I know other people have used it and have attracted their love. Now, I'm not going to say this because of the specific steps I came up with. The most important thing about spiritual ceremony is how you participate, but we'll go into that in a little while. Okay, so get yourself a pad and a pen and make yourself comfy. I'm going to go through a couple of lovely little steps here. So I already divulged my personal story and how I found my soulmate. So the first thing that we're going to do as we go through these steps, I'll call them love steps, how to find for love magic or how to find love, is really, it's all about finding yourself first and falling in love with yourself. But we're going to customize it a little bit to love, because when you find yourself and you do a little love magic, you got a winning combination. You got a really winning combination. So I'm going to give you a little summary before I go into what I'm about to do. So I've written a book called Soul Abundance, and it's all about aligning with your essence, your own soul. And there are 4 steps to do this. They sound easy enough. There are many different ways you can spin this and do it. For today, we're going to do the steps, as I already mentioned, specifically for love, but you can substitute anything you want, and I'll help you do that as we go through the steps. And so LOVE, love, is a magical manifesting approach to life. And the L of love stands for letting go of what you don't want. The O stands for opening to what you really do want. Wow, is that powerful? The funny thing is, you can't open to what you want until you let go of all the things you're resisting. Uh, the V of the word love stands for vibration alignment. And that is where I'm going to be using my particular spiritual ceremony. But there are many, many ways to do vibration alignment. I'm sure you've heard of some of them: creative visualization, self-hypnosis, um, vision boards. That's very popular. There's many, many, many ways to do this. But I have found in the area of love, spiritual magic, spiritual ceremony, for me, works really well. And maybe that has a lot to do with my beliefs and my own soul plan or soul contracts for this lifetime. So you can fool around with these ideas. It's not one or the other. It's not like I'm right, you're wrong. We're all in this together. And then the E of the word love stands for engage the resulting God flow. Ooh, what's that mean? Well, that means, what is your intuition telling you? That's the G of God, guidance. And usually when you start following your intuition, you'll start to see opportunities come out, which are synchronicities. Jung coined this frame synchronicity. That's when opportunity meets preparedness. You're looking for something because you did your vibration alignment and you did your opening to what you really want, and you let go of what you didn't want, and all of a sudden you kind of become this very magnetic creature. And then you start to get guidance and you start to see things clicking, opportunities, and your destiny unfolds. And hopefully that brings you love, as for today. So the first thing we're going to do is the letting go exercise. This is the foundation of everything. I'd like you all to just think about this for a second. In your day-to-day life, when you're worried about something or upset about something, and Susie B., I want you to listen up here on this one. When you're upset that you don't have something, right? Guess what you're going to get? That's right, more of that thing you don't want. So letting go is extremely important. So what we're going to do right now is just going to relax a little bit. Just breathe in deeply, uncross your arms and legs. Breathe in deeply from your abdominal area and exhale from that area, allowing yourself to get very light and relaxed. Ooh, kind of woozy. Okay? I'd like you to start thinking about your life. What's bothering you in the area of love or money or health? Okay? Write down what's really, really troubling you right now at the top of your list. Put it on your piece of paper, your pad. Okay? Try to come up with 1 to 3 things in a category. If it's money, do it for money. If it's love, do it for love. If it's health, do it for health. Write down. If you can't come up with a lot in one category, just write down everything. Now, I'd like you to look at the one category that's most important to you right now. If it's love or money or health, pick that one. If it's love or money or health. And then I want you to write down what you hate about not having that thing in your life. It could be many things about it. So, for example, if it's love, maybe you hate not having anyone to vacation with. Maybe you hate having to go to bed at night alone. It's just lonely. I like somebody to cuddle with. How about nobody to talk to when you have a serious matter or problem? Or maybe you had something great happen and you have no one to share it with. These are all parts of the things you could hate about not having love. So go ahead and write down what you hate about not having love or that thing in your life. Get at least one down, but try to get as many as you can. I'm going to be quiet while you do that. Good. I'll give you a moment or two more. All right. And now, this is going to be, we're going to do a release exercise. So I want you to put those things you hate in front of you. Imagine what they are. See yourself, for example, lonely, all right, or not having anyone to vacation with. Think of all those things and put them in front of you like an object, if you will. Maybe it's just you looking sad and lonely and crying sometimes. Whatever you can vision for yourself, or whatever physical representation you can create for those things you hate about not having this thing in your life. And I want you to imagine that there's a wind coming in. It's like a huge tornado. It's coming in from the back behind your object on the left, and the wind is wild. It's just whirring around and whirring around and whirring around, and this big what do you call that, tornado is going crazy. It's coming in towards you, and it finally comes into the area of the things you hate where they are. Okay. So if it's you, you're there, but it's you not happy, all right? If it's not having someone to talk to at night, when you don't know one to cuddle with, whatever it is, look at this tornado coming in and overstepping this sadness, this vision of sadness, and allow the tornado to continue moving out of your vision field off to the right or off to the left, however your tornado goes. And now you're cleared. Okay, so it's one way to clear is by envisioning what you don't like and then having a tornado come in and evaporate it and blow it away. Okay? And now we're going to use this information to open to what we do want. And as I mentioned before, knowing what you want is as powerful as anything I've ever found in manifesting. If I could get rid of the worry, if I could get rid of the belief systems it's not possible, whenever I have done this in the past to write down what I really want without any concern for whether or not I can even have it, something magical would happen right afterwards, very magical. So I want you now to look at your list of what you hate, and I want you to write next to it just the opposite. So if you hate about not having love in your life, that you have no one to cuddle with when you sleep at night, put down on right next to it, someone to cuddle with when I sleep. If you hate not having anyone to vacation with, put on the right, having someone to vacation with. These are the things you really want. If you hate having no one to share your household bills with, put on the right, I have a compatible partner who shares the bills with me, and so on and so forth. I will be silent for a moment while you do that. Okay, good. I'll be silent for a moment more. Okay, wonderful. And now what we're going to do is the vibration alignment. I'm going to do something right now, which is simple visualization. So look at your list of what you want, the things you really, really want. I'd like you to visualize yourself having at least one of those things. I'm going to be silent for a moment while you visualize it, okay? Getting clear in your mind. Make it happy. Good. Very good. So that's an example of vibration alignment. Now here's for the love magic part of it. I'm not going to go into the whole thing right now. It's a lot to go into. But if you would like the exact same spiritual ceremony that I did in my own life to attract my soulmate, no guarantees here, guys, but I'm just letting you know that if you want those instructions, email me. Email me using Laura at spiritmediumlaura.com, and I will send you those instructions. Okay? And now the last little thing we're going to do is what's called engage the God flow. Ooh. Now, what you might be surmising by now is that if you're not in a worry state, if you learned how to let go, if you've really defined, if you've opened to what you really, really want, and you've done some vibration alignment, visualizing it or vision boarding it, or maybe some love magic or whatever magic, you're ready now to engage the God flow. In other words, what happens is you change. Your vibration has shifted. You're moving to a higher vibration when you do that, and that's when things get kind of really magical and interesting. A lot of people talk about this these days. Flow. What is flow? Well, this is flow. Flow ain't gonna happen if you worry, ladies and gentlemen. That means luck. Pretty much flow is being lucky. Yeah, it's living intuitively. Living intuitively. Right place, right time. Good coincidences. Serendipitous living. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I want you to think about what you just aligned with. What you really want. You may just look at the list for a moment. And then when you're done, I want you to close your eyes and see, hear, or feel the next piece of information you get. We're going to ask our own guides for the next step. Okay? We're connecting with our own intuition. Okay? So go ahead now and look over what you really want. Again, look over your list of what you really want. And I'd like you to close your eyes for a moment, take in a couple of deep breaths, uncrossing your arms and legs from your abdominal area. And I want you to ask your own angel guides, your own higher self, what is it that you can do today or in the next few days that will help you bring to yourself what you're really wanting? Again, it can be in the area of love, in the area of money, or the area of health. I will be silent while you receive your picture, your words, or your feeling. And write it down. I am not going to make you do this much longer, but because actually the first thing that comes in is the right thing. So that's one of the keys here is where you all of you learn to live more intuitively, which is a much more successful and abundant way to live. When you want to be lucky, live intuitively after you've unblocked. If you want to live intuitively, you got to take the first thing that comes in, don't analyze it. And analysis is fear. We're trying to wean from fear to move towards love. So as I open the phone lines now, I may be asking some of you what you got during your exercises. So I'm going to be silent for 1 second more that you can write down what you got that you might have thrown away. I've done this before, guys. So I'm going to give you a chance. Think about what you got, and please write it down. Good. And anything could be correct, even if it's just a color or a feeling, right? Because as you open your third eye and you open your own intuitive success quotient, if you will, you may find the beginning it's not complete, the messages, maybe they're just beginning to form. And one of the things that Spirit has told me or led me to do lately is that Earth had a big shift energetically. I was with a number of light workers yesterday, and we all found that our businesses had shifted. People who do this kind of work, light workers, spiritual healers, empaths, psychic people, all of us, our businesses are very sensitive to energy, like what's going on in the world right now. Right now, the whole world seems to have shifted. And the shift is, we're all supposed to be teaching you, all you lovely people out there, how to fish. We're not supposed to be giving you fish. We're supposed to be teaching you how to fish. And that's where we're all going to be going on this path that I'm on. Okay.